Joe, we've known each other for years, but we've never actually had the chance to discuss your company, Building Blocks Tutorials. And I know you've always been super passionate about education, but I would love to know how it all began.
So it's a long journey. This story began back in 2004. I was a student at McGill University in engineering, and I started teaching students in math, science, physics, and chemistry along with one of my best friends. We started with a few hundred clients. That turned into a few thousand clients. We ended up hiring some teachers to give us a hand. But at that time, it was still just a side business, something we were passionate about, but nothing we took extremely seriously. It was a hobby for us at that time. You know, I was focused more on my career, and that's what I did. After graduating, I went into engineering jobs and was very fortunate enough to work at amazing companies, got great experiences in management, in strategy and marketing and e-commerce as well. But deep down, I always knew that I really wanted to have my own business. That was at some point or another, I had to do that. So about 4 years ago, I'd say my mind started working and trying to figure out how can I scale and grow that business to the point where it can become a full-time job, right? A full-time endeavor. So along with a few partners at the time, we worked part-time nights and weekends while working full-time, adding new schools, new services, new partners until the business was ready to go. And I'd say late 2018, I made the very hard decision to quit my job and go full-time. And to be very honest, that the people that know me very well, you know, that was a very hard decision for me. My family and I, we come from very humble beginnings, and going to school, becoming an engineer or a lawyer or doctor, that is the ultimate goal. To, you know, you go ahead and you build a great career, but still I found that I wanted to do, fill a mission in a different way. And for me, entrepreneurship and education was that way. So now it's been about a year I've been full-time on it, and I'm loving it so far.
So Joe, it seems like you've been making such strides over the last years, but I'd love to know what exactly is your mission and why are you so passionate about it?
I think it comes down to my personal philosophy. I really believe that education and learning in any form are key for any human being to learn, grow, and understand themselves and ultimately be happy. And when I say education, I mean it can be school, it can be work, it can be a conversation, it could be online. Any form of learning is valid. And today we really need to become lifelong learners because technology is changing ever so rapidly. Every year, new knowledge is out there. So people need to become problem solvers. So that's the first thing. The second thing that really fascinates me and I'm extremely passionate about is the fact that artificial intelligence and technology will shape society over the next 5, 10, 20 years more than we can even imagine today. So I even ask myself, I wonder what the world will look like in 10 or 20 years. What will work be? What jobs will people do? How will that affect education and schools? What will students learn? So all of that, those questions kind of position me in the desire of being a support system for students with challenges today, being school. They still have to, solve those challenges at school, but also they need to develop skills for the future. So that's where I think that's my mission, really to be a guide and a support system for students along that transition.
Knowing all of these future challenges, what exactly is it that Building Blocks Tutorials offers?
Basically, we offer two things. The first are academic workshops. The second are skill-based workshops. And these are for students in grades 5 to grade 12 in both public and private schools. These are in person, although we also offer online resources as an extra add-on. So starting first with the academic workshop, these are really focused on core subjects like math, science, physics, chemistry, history, English. And as an example, we offer mid-year and final exam review sessions where our teachers will walk through students step by step, answer their questions before a big exam. And basically what this does is it reduces anxiety of the students. That's the feedback we get. It boosts their confidence, and they're hearing it from a fresh new voice, a new perspective. But most importantly, it's still in line with their teacher's feedback. So one of the things we do is we create our own content, our own materials, our own examples, and we work with our partner schools and teachers to get their feedback so that we are able to personalize the workshop for their students' needs and it's relevant to the content that they need to see. So that's really what we offer. And fortunately, over the years, we've seen a really nice impact on their grades. So we've seen anywhere from 5 to 20% increase on their average grade, along with reduction in anxiety, as I mentioned. The other thing I want to mention is that these services, we want to be positioned as an ally to teachers. We're a complementary service, so we want to make sure that we are supporting teachers' work, we're getting their feedback, and that students feel comfortable within their own review sessions that the teachers offer. Because a lot of teachers offer their own review sessions at the end of the year or mid-year. And what we find is that a lot of the teachers end up telling us they can pinpoint which students attended our sessions because they're able to ask deeper questions, facilitating their own review session within the classroom. So in that sense, we're also supporting teachers' work as they do their outstanding work in their own classroom. And on the skill-based side, basically we're also offering workshops around literacy, study skills, organization and time management, executive function. Those are really some of the workshops we have right now. And we're also developing others in the pipeline that are critical for the future. So emotional intelligence, communication, teamwork, those are the other ones that we're really working on. Problem solving, critical thinking. So those are the next steps of workshops that are going to be released very soon as well.
So knowing all this, what sets you apart?
That's a tough question, but I think every company does things in their own way. And that's great. But I think what sets us apart and that I'm extremely proud of, number one, is our team. I'm very lucky and fortunate that the team of teachers, certified teachers that are working with us, we have about 50 so far, and they're outstanding. These are amazing, engaged professionals that I'm lucky to call part of my team. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'd say is customer service and partnership. So we treat principals, teachers, parents, and students, they're our top priority in terms of listening to their needs, responding to any issues or problems that come about. So we really like to respond very quickly. I'm very involved in all operations. So that's the second part of it. Like I mentioned before, custom content and alignment. So we create all of our own examples. We create our own material because we don't want to use old exams because in many cases students have seen that with their teachers in their own class. So we want to keep it fresh, and we also want to make sure that we are curating our content based on the school's feedback. Different students learn differently. Different exams can vary by school board or school. So we're very attentive not to use any cookie cutter method. So we really personalize it to the school. What else? We gather data, we track, we're a data-centric company, so we understand where our weaknesses are, how we can improve. Maybe the last thing I want to mention is that we hope to be an innovative company. We want to always listen to what's coming up in technology, in education, and be ready to support students with that. So really being alert is another element of what we do.
So what's next? What's your dream? What's your vision?
What's next is really just continue developing online resources, videos, new workshop. So we're going to focus on the online element as well. One thing I'm very proud of that's in development, it's taking some time. It's a new piece of proprietary technology. So we're looking to personalize studying for each student. So everyone learns at a different rate, different pace. We're developing a technology that will allow students to get a different experience based on their weaknesses and strengths. So that's something that I'm very proud of. Overall, other next steps are really expanding to other cities. Cities like Toronto should be in the short term. And then in the medium term, I would say Chicago, Boston, New York. That's always been a dream of mine to be able to offer the service to other cities. And overall, I guess the big dream and vision at the end of the day is just to be, I'd say, a trusted source, a trusted partner to parents, principals, superintendents, headmasters, and students. Really, that they trust Building Blocks Tutorials when it comes to academic support, in terms of being a trusted partner and delivering outstanding workshops and resources. So that's really it, to be a trusted name. That's really the vision.
Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to discuss everything with me today. Obviously, wishing you the best of luck with everything to come in the future while you develop your services and support your students.
Thank you very much.